Thanks for tuning in to GTO Good Old Boys.
Did you see the bag back there?
Buckle up and enjoy the show with your host, Paul Ponder.
Hey guys, I'm Paul Ponder. I'm the host of GTO Good Old Boys, and we have two special guests today. But before I tell you about them, I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and I hope you really enjoy the show. We got Mr. Fisher Anaya and his dad, Ryan. They have just come through, and I'm going to get Ryan to tell you about how his year's been. He's had a phenomenal year, I think. And with the help of his dad, we're going to find out how much help goes on, which I think you're going to be surprised to find out. And so Fisher's a man of his own, and just 19 years old and just living the dream, aren't you, Fisher?
Yeah, basically.
Well, what all have you done? Tell us your accomplishments. I know he's not being cocky, but I want him to tell you what this young man's done. I mean, he graduated high school 3 months ago.
Something like that, yeah.
And he got through that, and that obstacle is gone now.
That was the hardest one.
There you go, exactly. And so now he's into what he really wants to do, and I would like for you to tell the audience out here what all you've accomplished this year.
Yeah, this is the first year I really hunkered down. I fished 2 BFLs before this, or 1 BFL before this year, and I entered every single BFL this year, and I entered the Central Division in the Toyotas, and that was the 2 main ones this year for me. I was going to put a lot of focus towards those and just see how I compete with higher level of competition since I ain't fished those much. And as of right now, in the BFLs, I haven't finished out of the top 5 yet, and then.
Wow.
In the Toyotas, I stumbled a little bit on Smith, and I mean that's kind of like that home lake curse. I did okay here at Gunnersville, finished 19th, but I got brought into a trap bite and was only catching 19 pounds a day, and each day I fell. Right. So that ain't very fun. But I mean, Smith, I swung hard the first day, thinking I could do. I had a really good shot at winning. I had 35 pounds of largemouth laid up on bed at Smith, and I went and swung for the fence the first day, and they were gone. And I wasted a lot of time, and I should have just left them as soon as that morning when I noticed they wasn't there, but I tried to make it work, see if they wouldn't show back up, and they never did. So the first day, I just scratched up 10 pounds worth of males off bed. Right. And then the second day, I went and did my thing, scoped, threw a glide bait on some suspended fish, and had right at 15 and almost jumped right back in the cut. So I finished 30th there, and then I went to Chickamauga, and I just sat in one spot and ripped a flutter spoon on the same cast for 3 days straight, and I did catch some on a Rapala freeloader, and I had 26 pound the first day, and then actually going back to the roots, learning from my dad and Swindle is power fishing and learning how to just fall back on your instincts. So I went shallow that second day because I couldn't get on my ledge stuff, and I threw a pop-R on blowdowns, and I bet I caught 50 that day, but I only had 11 pounds, but without that I would have weighed in nothing. I got zeroed, so I got lucky there and just stayed in the cut. And then the second day, I got on my ledge and had 21 again.
Wow, that right there is just learning to go when you need to go.
Exactly,
and stay when you need to stay.
Yeah, and then the ABTs, I struggled in them the last 2 years I fished them. The first year I fished them with another boy, it wasn't my dad, and we did okay. I think we cashed a check and won. And then last year, it was just our worst finish was 50th, and our best was 49th. We were right there every single time. Yeah, we were consistent with not making a check by missing it by a couple ounces. But other than that, it was fun because we caught fish at every tournament. But this year, it's been we ain't finished out of the top 15 but one time in them, and we bombed at Neely Henry. Just didn't get on the right pattern, and we lost a couple fish that would have helped us a lot there.
Oh, so the ABT, you've learned a lot from it also, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Sounds like you're putting everything to good use.
Slowly.
That's it. Well, Dad, I know you're proud of him to be able to fish with him in the ABT. We're going to get in depth with ABT a little later, and that was a big tournament for you. And just explain to the crowd now how it is to have a son doing as well as what he's doing, and how much help do you give him, or is he hard-headed?
He's not really hard-headed, but at first it was consistently just pound in his brain, trying to get his fundamentals, get his mentality right. And now it's got to the point in the last couple of years I kind of just more or less back off of him, because then I start learning stuff from him.
Okay.
He's taking a little bit different approach because he sees it different through his eyes and his mind. And as long as it's working, I'm not going to mess with it.
Right.
So I've kind of let it go. I work all the time, so I work so he can do what he's wanting to do.
Correct. Exactly.
And like I said, I told him, I said, you got to do it at a young age. You can't be old and do it. You can't have a family and do it. You've got to do it now if you're going to do it because you're going to be on the road. And he's went with it.
He's took it by the
goes every
horns
day.
and ain't getting thrown off.
No, he goes every day.
Every day.
And he's going to get into some tournaments where he's not going to know what to do. It's going to happen. It don't matter who you are. It's going to happen. But he's always like now, I mean, you come up here at Gunnersville, you can catch him on the ledge, you can catch him flipping, you can catch doing anything.
Right.
But he told me, son, I need to work on my flipping bite. Even though he might not do it all the time, he wants to learn and work on it and get better because sometimes he's going to have to go to the Harris chain. He's going to have to go somewhere where it's predominantly flipping.
Right, exactly.
So he's just polishing off the last few years. And I said, 2 years after high school, we'll try to get you in the opens.
Wow.
So all that's done thrown out the window, and he's done went into the Toyotas this past year. He's 18 now. He's going to be 19 November. So he's already fishing Toyotas at 17, 18-year-old.
Wow.
So everything's kind of progressed faster than I thought it would.
Right. I want y'all to know that this guy right here, Fisher, has earned his right to be where he is. And I'm excited about that. I mean, I don't want him to get out here and be all cocky and all that. But you got to a certain point. This man is good. He's confident. He knows what he's doing. And he knows when he screws up. And he'll tell you when he screws up. Ryan's sitting there watching him, and I'm sure your chest just getting bigger and bigger. I've talked to Ryan before, the weigh-in before, and he's a little nervous. The whole family is, but I got chill bumps just popped up about that right there. And so that's pretty sweet. You got the love between the father and the son, and there's very few sons, including myself, that really wanted to be with their dad when they was 18, 19 years old.
Right.
My hats off to you, son. Enjoy it while you can, because I know this old man's enjoying it, and he's not old neither.
I'm getting there though.
But really, it's a family thing, and fishing can be a family thing. And what's your plans for the future, Fisher?
I'm gonna try to get in the opens as soon as I can. I did qualify for the invitationals out of AOY last year in the Toyotas, so I still got the Toyota Championship coming up on Wheeler. That's probably the biggest tournament I've ever been in. It's gonna be that one, and then we did qualify for the the Bassmaster Team Championship down on I think it's called the Ouachita River down in Louisiana. I ain't never heard of it. I don't think there's been many tournaments down there, so we're just gonna kind of wing it and go down there. I think it's more of a river, so it's just. I mean, I guess it resembles Neely Henry.
How do you feel about it?
And they could have picked a better place, I guess. Like, I mean, they could have put it on like a place I know. It's like, I mean, it ain't got to be a place I've been to, but like any type of lake, it's got some deep water and some clearness, maybe some standing timber. That'd been ideal. That'd been set up perfect. But they're not gonna set up every time like how you want them to set up. So we're just gonna have to adapt and go into it with an open mind, figure them out.
Largemouth spots.
I think it's got a little bit of mixture of both, but it's just gonna be dominated by largemouth.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're gonna be shallow on laydowns?
I think that's what most of the videos I have watched on it, trying to do my research, is a lot of people just taking a spinnerbait and a crankbait and going down the bank fishing blowdowns, little rocks, anything like that.
That will be fun.
Yeah.
If you get the tug on the other end, it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
So can y'all fish together in practice?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be together all the way till if we do make the last day, and then they'll split us up.
Oh,
and then it's a chance to go to the classic.
So it's really a team tournament to start with, and then the last day you get you on.
I think.
Is it top 5 teams? You got
top
10?
3, I think.
Top three. So it's going to be 6 boats at the end of it.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Oh, heck yeah.
And then you going to give your daddy any slack?
Heck no. I want to go classic.
I told him I was going to give him some slack. I said, if we made it, and I didn't know the rules, and I got looking at it, and I was like, well, there's other teams involved, so if it was just me and you, if we made the last day and split up, I'd just forfeit.
Oh,
I wouldn't even fish, but
he probably wouldn't fish, and then I'd probably go out there and zero, and we'd tie.
Ooh,
but with other teams in it, you're going to have to. That's the only point, yeah.
That's pretty fun, though.
It is.
That's exciting.
It is.
That is something. And you're already in this, right?
Yeah, we qualified with it through the top 9 in the AOY and the Alabama Bass Trail.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that sounds like a winner.
And that's tough to do because I fished the ABT for several years. I think 16th is the highest I've placed in AOY.
Wow. Okay.
It's just hard to do with these local guys.
It is.
And then me and him jump out there and just had a phenomenal year.
Well, let's take a little break after that. That's a positive end to the first segment. And what we'll do is we'll come back and talk some more with Fisher Anaya and his dad, Ryan. Y'all stay with us.
We'll be back with more GTO Good Old Boys after this.
Welcome to Eden's Energy and Protein. We are now open on Saturdays 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. until school is out. We offer T-bombs, protein shakes, coffee, shaved ice cream, banana splits, and last but not least, everyone's favorite, the most delicious milkshakes. Come by and see us. Don't miss out on a great sweet treat after a long day on the water. We are located right outside of Waterfront at 6955 Scottsboro Highway. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Eden's Energy and Protein. Thank you, and we hope to see you soon.
Now back to more with GTO Good Old Boys.
Hey guys, this is Paul Ponder, and we're back with the second segment going on here. And what we're going to do now is 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, was it 2 weeks ago?
What that? ABT?
10 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Okay. This young man fished ABT with his dad, and they went into it with, I'm sure, had to be a positive attitude. And they come out on top and in the tune of a $15,000 paycheck, right?
Heck yeah.
Well, tell us how it feels.
It feels pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. Like when I seen the schedule come out at the beginning of the year, I put a star next to it. I said, "That's a win. If we don't win, it's gonna be pissed off. That's a win." And it's not that like you got to have that kind of confidence in yourself that you're gonna win that one. Like you asked me where I'm gonna go, I said I'm gonna catch 20 pounds.
Right.
It's just how it is. Like I'm not being cocky. I'm not saying that like in a cocky way. I'm just saying it's like I got confidence in myself to catch 20 pounds.
I see.
So that one, when it come out, like I put a star next to it. I was like, that's the one. That's it. And I mean, I really didn't spend that many days of practice out here. Like I have over the past few years.
Right.
I have enough areas. Like I have more areas than I can run in one day. So I spent all my idling time months before the tournament, before anybody got out here and could see me doing anything. So I idled all kinds of off the wall stuff, and I found like 4 or 5 schools that I was like, it'll be very, very hard for somebody to find these. And because there's not much on the map, shows they're there, they're just there. And
the fish we caught wasn't there the week before.
Yeah, like
You're kidding me.
I idled them Thursday, and they just randomly just 200 or 300 bass just bow everywhere. Like
200 or 300.
When I idled, I was taking off. When I say it was like one of those deals, like it just right time, I hit the gas to take off, and I seen them start on the down scan, like dotting up. And I was kind of like, that looked like bass. And I spun back around and hit them on side scan, and they just loaded it up. Never made a cast on that spot, never idled that spot, never did nothing. And I told Dad, I was like, I think you can catch 20 off of it just by how many fish is there. 20 pounds would be a good mark. I said, I don't know what's there. I ain't made a cast on them. And we run out of the state park and running up the river up through there, and I was like, ain't nobody on them. I said, let's try them. We swung in there, and they had bad floating eelgrass, like bad. So it's almost like you took a golf course and just looked out across the golf course and throwing your bait out there, and it just landed on top of the water. So we'd have to pick our little holes, and you'd fling over, and if you're lucky, land in the hole, it'd sink down. But really and truly, from what I've noticed this year off a couple of areas, is like when you get grass on your line, you can really slow your bait down. Like it just kind of pendles there. And so for whatever reason, like they've been biting it the past couple of days. Like when there's grass on a spot, if I can get it to go down, I catch bigger stringers of fish than when I'm just throwing over, just reeling it above their head.
But darn, you're utilizing the eelgrass.
It's kind of
to
weird.
Your advantage.
It's kind of weird, but I have noticed it because it did it the other day. Like we was fishing a little Lincoln Callises tournament right here out of Waterfront.
Right, exactly.
And I had grass on my line, and it slowed my bait down. In a school we ain't had a bite out of in 30 minutes, and a 7-pounder come up and grabbed it, and I jumped it off, lo and behold, but it come up and grabbed it. So I'm like, it could be something, but it could not be something. It could just be one of those deals. But yeah, got on the floating eelgrass pattern, I guess is what you'd call it. And
that is sweet, guys. Now listen, the eelgrass is probably the most cussed grass.
Oh yeah,
in the lake.
It gets on my nerves. I ain't gonna lie, because you got to really work to get it through without getting eelgrass on your bait.
Right.
But like, I don't know, it might be just luck of the draw thing. It was our
It's a
time to
learning
win.
curve. It's all about the
Exactly.
learning curve.
And
Learn
you got
something new every day.
a 18-year-old that has utilized that forward facing, of course, and that's another issue beside itself. But he's utilized that forward facing to his advantage. Plus, he's found a way to overcome the eelgrass. Now, if that's not positive, guys, they can't be no
Right.
positive. How proud are you of that?
Oh, yeah. I told him that morning. He was looking at it, and I told him I said, just PMA. Just if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And it's like a punch to the gut when you pull up. I've been there. I've caught 30 pounds in
Right.
practice, and the next day it's covered in eelgrass. You can't make a cast,
Man,
especially with a rattle trap. There's no getting it down there.
that's right. That's right. You're exactly right.
And it's just, I told him, I said, let's just give it time, see. And lo and behold, 15 minutes went by, and all of a sudden it opened up a little bit.
It open a hole and you throw in there, boom, you catch one. And open again, boom, you catch another one. And like really and truly, like we caught, what did we have? 17 pretty quick. Like 17 pounds in 15 minutes or so. Like it was pretty quick. And I was like, I figured we could catch 17 to 20 off of it. And then like 10 more minutes goes by and I'm like, we got 25. And he's like, yeah. I was like, that happened quick. One more cat, ring 27. I'm like, okay, yeah, we got it.
Golly molly, that was exciting. And it all happened at one time?
Fast. Like it was kind of weird though. Like the camera boat would be on us. We'd catch 4-pounders, whatnot. Well, they'd leave, we'd catch a 5. And then they'd come back. What you got? Called up once. They'd leave, come back. What you got? I was like, caught 2 more 5s. I'm like, dang.
They didn't get half of it on camera.
They didn't.
Oh, really?
They got a bunch of the small ones that morning on camera, like 21 pounds or
Yes.
something like that on camera. And I say that's small. That's a dang jam up bag. But like for out here, that gets you laughed at. So
Gotcha.
I mean, it was definitely, it happened quick. I had them by 7:30 that morning. So
By 7.
it was one of those deals. Like that's what I was figuring. If it don't go down bright and early in the morning, you're gonna struggle because them fish get so smart. And it just, it
What do you
was one of
think
those-
causes that? Is it
I don't really know. I don't know
sun?
if it's. I don't know if
you
it's
got-
necessarily the sun when they look up, or how the bait positions, or what it is. Because really, truly, like you think about it, like you go to Smith and Topwater, a lot of times when the sun gets up, it blinds them, so they tend to get it better. So
They can't see it as clear.
it's
Okay.
kind
I got
of
you.
different. It's like I figured that's how it'd be here, but it might honestly, because they're so deep, when the sun shines on it, it makes it bright enough they can see the bait good enough, and they don't want to bite it.
Got you.
There's all kinds of thoughts that could go into it, but I just go out there and just sling around till I get one to bite, basically.
Really? Could you fit? Did y'all both fish off the front of the boat?
Yeah, most of
Okay,
the
so
time.
y'all was forward facing, following,
And I
going to.
I was just blind casting mainly. Mm-hmm. I was letting him do all that, and I told him, I said, I'll just sit behind you. And I was casting actually a new Crust City worm that's going to come out at ICAST, and I've never even thrown it. They sent them to fish, and I was like, dude, I'm going to run this. I know they hadn't seen it because it ain't been out. And I put it on there, and I catch a 6-1.
Whoa.
Then I catch another 5. I was like, yeah, I'm not putting this down. I just kept throwing it.
And you had your minnow.
Yeah, I was throwing the heck out of my minnow.
That sounds like a winner. Well, guys, we've got to another break time. What we're going to do is come back and we'll conclude with something. Don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something. We got the Anaya boys here. Y'all are going to watch him for a
We'll
while.
be back with more GTO Good Old Boys after this.
Welcome to Waterfront Bay Cabin Rentals, located at 6989 Scottsboro Highway, right outside of Waterfront. You have a beautiful view of the wonderful Lake Gunnersville. We have 2 rentals for you to choose from. You have our cabins, which is your bigger option. They have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, full living room, full dining room, and a full kitchen. Those come with 2 covered carports with power for boat hookup. Our second option is our cottages, which are like a little hotel room. They have 2 queen-size beds, 1 bathroom, and a little kitchenette that consists of a microwave, a coffee pot, and a mini fridge. These come with 1 covered carport for your boat hookup. Give us a call at 256-444-5017 with any questions and to see about availability. Thank you.
Now back to more with GTO Good Old Boys.
Hey guys, we're here for the final segment. Of course, we got Ryan and Fisher with us, and what we're going to talk about is how much it takes to hear that word we was talking about earlier. So we're going to talk about how much it takes to get to where he needs to be financially to be able to fish. Because all you young guys out there, this is what he has stumbled through and fought through for 5 years, last 5-6 years.
Something like that, yeah.
And it still has not come together financially like you would like for it to,
Right.
but it's getting there. So we're going to let Dad chime in whenever he wants to because he knows where it's coming from. We're going to let Fisher tell about his side of it. So you start with it, Fisher, and tell them how hard it is to get your financial backing.
I mean, it's the hardest part about fishing. No matter how good you are, you can't make it off just fishing. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, it don't matter if you're Jordan Lee. It don't matter. You can't make it off just fishing. So that's like, I mean, last year I bet money I didn't make $5,000 on fishing, and then this year I made just an estimate of 60.
Right.
So like, it's helped out a lot doing like being able to finish high up and be in some of these tournaments that pay pretty decent. But then you think about it, you're like, well, I made 60, but I spent 25 of that or 30 of that in entry fees.
Right.
So it just goes back down, and you're kind of like halfway, and you're like, if I could just make and hit big on one big tournament, or hit one big sponsor, hit me up so I could qualify, like they could help me pay for my entry fees into the opens and stuff.
Right.
It'd be like a paved road. Like I'd be set. Because I feel like confidence enough in my game that if you put me in the opens, I could do fairly decent. I could cash a couple checks.
Right.
Not going to say I'm going to qualify the first year. I mean, it might take 2, 3, 10 years. But, like, finding a big sponsor like that to give up that kind of money is the hardest thing to do, more like out of anything. It don't matter. It's harder to get that than to win a classic.
Wow. I understand that.
Right. So that's the big ordeal about it. So I'm trying to work towards it. Like, I've got a bunch of sponsors that put in a bunch of money, including y'all. Like, y'all helped me out a lot. Y'all been here since day one.
Right.
And that's the main. I'm just still trying to find that one sponsor that's going to give me enough money to help me go. Like,
now, when you're talking about enough money, if a sponsor paid for your entry fees into the opens, you're talking $60,000.
Probably
$50,000?
Yeah, probably the entries and the amount of room and board and fuel
Yes.
it eats, I guarantee
Something
it's
like
north
that.
of 50.
Okay. So I was thinking, and that you got
year.
to clear that back if you pay it yourself before you're even on the positive side of it.
Right. And
Exactly.
you're not going to be if you go into the mentality, I can win enough to pay it back, you're never going to make it.
Right.
You're going to have to more or less throw that money out there, burn it, and then just
Hope to make half of it back.
hope it happens. Get some
Right.
of it back. You're not guaranteed, but then again, it comes with all the social media stuff where guys like this say, I'm just saying you, for instance, you're a sponsor for him. You see his name goes up there. People's going to ask, where'd you buy that bait at? I got it there at GTO.
Right.
They're going to come in here. So if you're making money off him and he represents you in a good way, you're all for it. And same
Yes.
way with Rapal or any of these other companies, they've got to make a return on their investment.
Right. But guys, just remember, you said it good, but he has proved himself to us.
Right.
And that's what you've got to do is you've got to prove yourself to whoever you're talking to sponsor you.
Right.
That I can make you some money.
Right.
Because that's the bottom line.
it's not going to start off big. You're not going to start with a sponsor that's going to give you a fat water change just like off the rip out of high school, anything like that. Like, I started working and trying to grow my social media since 7th grade. Like, I've been doing that. Like, I've had companies reach out, and it's like with y'all, like, we started off, it was just y'all would help like post us on social media, or it was just we'd come in here, we'd try to sell some of y'all's baits or do something type
Right.
of thing in here, and it didn't include any money or anything like that.
Or have a smile on your face when you get on stage.
Exactly.
sir.
So like small things like that slowly become bigger things. So like over the
Right.
years, it's become from I would get free product to now I'm getting $5,000, $10,000. So like if it slowly keeps building, surely by the next couple of years, I'll run into one of those sponsors that'll help me go and push like a heck of a lot more. And it even comes with like boat deals and stuff like that. And graphs are the just outrageous thing right now.
Exactly.
Because you need seems like 800 TV screens to compete. But like, I mean, I don't know how they even stare at all of them. They got eyes out of the side of their heads, I guess. I don't
Exactly.
know. I get caught up looking at one. I can't look at four.
But if you take, I mean, it goes same instance. You seen it in him. You seen something positive that
Yes.
you like.
Yes.
Same way with these other guys that say Rapala 13 that really like Fisher. They see something in him.
Right.
So you take 10 people. You take 10 paws and give them $1 million apiece. I guarantee you, 9 of them's going to fail, and one of them's going to have a facility like this that prevails.
Huh.
They could all do the same thing.
Right.
9 of them's
I
going
see what
to
you're
fail,
saying.
and one of them's going to. So it's not. You can take 10 kids. Not saying he's the one, but he's doing pretty darn good. And
Yes.
his drive and determination is dead set. That's where he's going.
Right. He's got
Almost-
the right attitude.
If you don't make it, so be it.
Right.
I got a business. You can come work with me. Don't even worry about that side of it.
Right.
So it's just plan A. We don't have a plan B.
Right.
It's plan
See,
A.
do it while you can, like you said earlier.
Right.
The younger you are, the more you can spread your wings, I guess what you can say, and do
Right.
what you want.
Right.
Because when you settle down with a family, a lot of things change.
It's over.
Exactly.
Not that it's a bad thing, but you've got a family to take care of.
Right.
So you can't put you number one.
That's right.
And that's what you have to do in this
And see, that
business.
guys, that's what I want you to understand, that this man right here has done that. He's took his dream, put it into his son, and he's backing his son. He's not paying his son's way. I mean, he's doing what he can, but I don't think there's anybody well off enough with a family that can do that.
Right.
Because it's a lot of money, guys. And you've got to go out there with a positive attitude. And like I said, he said it earlier about grinning when he's on stage.
Right.
Sometimes when he was younger, I've seen him mature big time.
It's tough to grin when it ain't going your way.
You got that shot right. And this boy would not grin when it was not going his way. And then
He was mad at the world.
he was. And I'd say, okay, where's that grin?
He's getting
And
better. He's getting better
He's
at
getting a lot better. A lot better. Maybe it's hiding it. A lot better at hiding it.
That's what you got
I
to do.
don't know. I just do it now. Like it's one of those deals like Swindle's taught me. A lot of it's just in your head. Like it's just, and you just got to just shrug it off, go to the next one.
And-
If you stay caught up on it, it's gonna go into the next one, and you're gonna bomb in the next one again.
But before we end, I want you to put a spot out there for all y'all sponsors. Y'all remember them, and tell them how much you appreciate them. Let
Right.
them know
I mean-
that you're here.
Yeah, I mean, without all the sponsors that I have now, like I wouldn't be halfway to where I'm at. Like, I mean, Rapala, 13, VMC, Suffix, all them, they put a lot of stuff into me. I mean, a lot of confidence into a young person, which they don't do very often. And, I mean, you can just throw in an influence like Swindle. Without him, I wouldn't have them because he put my name in for me. He's put my name into a lot of areas to people that wouldn't necessarily look at someone this young and early into it, but he's like, you need to look into him now before he gets picked up later on down the road. So without like that really helps a lot. And then you got like, I mean, y'all and like y'all believed in me since day one. So like that's the big thing. Is find someone if they believe in you before you get started and get going. That's your main one. Like that's the person that showed interest in you before anybody else did.
Well, it was fun. It was fun watching you grow and watching you come up. And Ryan, you've got to like Ryan. I don't care if you get mad at him. You got to like him 10 minutes later. He's just that kind of guy. So, how much longer we got?
We're right there. We're at 30 minutes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, I thought it was getting about time. One last thing going out. Give a shout out to old Gerald Swindle.
Oh, gee, man. Old bow-legged. He looks like Granddaddy Longlegs standing on Quick Front Day, guys. It's funny as crap. But I think the first time we went fishing, I don't know how many years ago. How long ago was that?
He was young.
I was
he
a little
was
bitty.
a little bitty dude.
And I mean, it was bad. He gave me heck. I mean, I tell you, I told him, I was like, I'm nervous. Like, I'm kind of scared to go fishing with him. But now it's like, we'll go fishing, and there's been a thing we've said, take you to the woodshed. I'm going to take you to the woodshed this time.
Okay.
So it's a bunch of smack talk stuff goes on. But, like, I mean, even now, like, we go out fishing, he'll like, hey, take me out here and teach me a little bit about this. Or I'll tell him, hey, take me flipping. Let's go teach you a little bit about that. So, like, having two different mindsets and put it into one, it can help you out a ton.
Right.
Because he's more of that power fishing, junk fishing, grinding style, like, fisherman. And I'm more of that. put my face into the live scope. I'm just going to go scan around until I catch 5 of them because there's 5 of them out here somewhere. So, I mean, we got confidence in 2 different things. And, I mean, now you can go to either lake and do it. I mean, some lakes are different than others. So, like, having him teach me the other side of things really helps out a lot there.
Well,
It comes into play. Somewhere down the road, it's going to come into play.
Well, that's great. Well, guys, I guess we've gone long enough. We went over. We've been scolded once. But I want to introduce, I'm sure everybody knows, but y'all better keep your mind on this kid right here. And he's not going to be a kid for long, but right now, he is. He's a very mature young man, and I think the world of you. I'm so proud of you. I've seen you go from here to there, got to know Ryan, got to know his family, got to know your grandmother, and y'all are just super fantastic people. Guys, keep your eyes peeled for Fisher Anaya because he's going to be there, and y'all can say y'all seen it first here at GTO. Thanks a lot, guys. Y'all have a good one.